Demand a jury trial when you're sued for debt. Brought to you by yourlegallegup.com, your advantage if you're being sued by debt collectors. I know I've discussed whether you should seek a jury trial before, but I want to give it a new look for this set of videos. In my view, debt defendants should always ask for jury trials if they have the right to them, and most of them do have that right. Under constitutional law, you have a right to a jury trial under the 7th Amendment for most legal claims. Legal in this sense is a term of art referring to the historical development of the English courts. Suffice it to say that most claims sounding in breach of contract are legal claims. Account stated, on the other hand, is not legal. It was historically equitable. So if the credit card company is suing you only for account stated, you probably don't have a right to a jury trial. But for almost all other credit card or loan-based claims, you do. And if the plaintiff is suing you for breach of contract and account stated, you will have a right to jury trial that will, in all likelihood, control the whole case. So if they bring them both, you'll have a jury trial. So most of the people watching this video will have a right to a jury trial. Should you take it? I think yes, for a couple of reasons. The primary reason is that judges on the other side will take jury trials more seriously. This means the judge will be much more careful about what kinds of evidence to allow the jury to see, and since that's the heart of much of our defense, this is a very good thing. It isn't that a judge should allow hearsay to affect his or her decision, it's that the judge will pay much closer attention to your argument that something is hearsay. If he or she is worried about a jury hearing it, that's just human nature. It's a more serious kind of case. And the second reason is that it is a more serious kind of case. Although a judge-held trial could last half an hour, a jury trial will be measured in hours or possibly days if there are any complications. Also, judge trials and jury trials tend to be on different scheduling dockets, and it takes much longer to get to a jury trial than a judge trial, and that's usually to our advantage too. And that's because a jury has to be selected as much as anything, and that takes time. The difference in cost of attorney time could easily be $1,000 for the debt collector, and they don't like to put that kind of money into cases like this. It's just the way they do business. It's not that they fear them or anything, you understand. But should you fear them? We'll get to that. But first, there's a possible third reason for those of you in small claims court. Your jury request may be your ticket out of there because small claims courts typically don't have or allow jury trials, and if you request one and have a right to it, they'll boot you to a higher court. They'll have to. It might sound like a jury trial is a bigger deal for a shy or intimidated person, and it is true that they are somewhat more complicated. Although we can help you get ready for that, but you will probably find in real life that it doesn't matter. Juries are just as easy to talk to, more so really, and if you're caught up in your case, it's probably easier to talk to the jury. They're much more like you than the judge is. There are other factors you'll need to consider as you prepare for the case, but in making your decision on whether or not to demand a jury, this is probably all you need to know. The judge will be more serious, the plaintiff will like the case less, and the jury will be easier to talk to than the judge in general. So we suggest you ask for a jury trial. Find out your court's rules on asking for one before you file your answer, if that's possible. Even if you find the rules provide you should make your demand for a jury in your answer after you've answered, you should file a motion asking for one anyway. The rules are liberal on granting jury trials as long as you don't seem to be playing tricks with the court. Your reasons for wanting one are all good reasons. Helping people protect their rights is what we do. Don't protect what's yours and don't let the debt collectors rip you off. yourlegallegup.com